Are you a teenager looking for advice on how to handle your money better? Well, you've come to the right place. In this video, I give you 5 top tips on how to handle your money better. Let's go. Right, step number 1, start saving. And I'm not talking about any kind of saving. I'm talking about saving a set percentage of your income every single month. Whatever amount you've got coming in. It could be £100, it could be £1,000, or whatever unit of currency you've got where you live. Whatever it is, decide on the percentage and stick to it. My recommendation would be 20%. Decide on a number today. Make me that commitment that you'll decide on a number. Let it be no lower than 20%. It could be 30, it could be 40, it could be even 50. It doesn't really matter. Just decide on a number. You can increase it over time if you want, but decide on a number today. Deciding on that percentage and putting it into action will set you up to be way ahead of your peers over time. And that is because of the compounding effect. You may have heard of that before, and if you want to know more, pop a question in the comments below. Right, decided? Tip number 2, get yourself a credit card. And yes, I know you may have some people in your circles that tell you that debt is bad. Don't get into debt and only spend the money you have in your pocket or in your bank account. Well, okay, let's examine that advice. The problem I have with that advice is that it's too black and white. And frankly, it's not reflective of reality. It doesn't make the distinction between good debt and bad debt. Not all debt is bad. The bad debt is consumer debt, stuff that takes money out of your pocket every month. That's you spend on things you can't really afford, and that is absolutely bad debt. Avoid, avoid, avoid. But there is something such as good debt. Now, good debt is something I love. I myself have almost £1 million of debt. Am I worried about it? No, because most of that debt puts money into my pocket every month. It generates an income for me. But more about that in a future video. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So anyway, getting back to credit cards. The reason you want a credit card is to start your credit history as soon as possible. Over your lifetime, you are likely to go to a bank or another financial institution for some sort of lending, be it a mortgage or something else. When you want this, that bank or that financial institution looks at your credit history to determine how risky you are as a borrower. How do they do this, you might ask? Well, they do this by looking at your credit history. How is your credit history made? Well, your credit history is made by the credit you take out and then an evaluation of how good you are at servicing that credit, that debt. So taking out a credit card now and spending a little bit on it, paying it back in full every month, tells a story. It starts building up your credit score. So you see, a credit score is basically a judgment of how good you are at managing your credit commitments and your debt effectively. So there are 3 rungs here. The first rung is a poor credit score. People with a poor credit score have typically taken out credit in some form and have missed payments or have defaulted on their debt entirely. And what this does, it leaves a mark on your credit score that you have not managed your debt effectively. So when you apply to a bank or someone else for some more debt, that bank will look at your credit score, know that you've missed payments or defaulted before, and therefore treat you as a risky customer. That means they will charge you a higher rate of interest, increasing your payments to service that debt. Rung number 2 is where you don't have a credit score at all. You've never taken out credit, and so a lender is now looking at you, not knowing whether you're good or bad at servicing debt. They will probably err on the side of caution and give you a higher rate than they would to their best customers. Again, not a good place to be. Now there's rung number 3. You've got a good credit score. You've taken on debt before, you've serviced that debt, you've never missed a payment, you've never defaulted. So guess what? When you go to a bank or someone for more money, you are now one of their most trustworthy clients. They're not worried about you missing a payment. They're not worried about losing their money, and therefore they're probably going to give you the best rates possible. And that's why getting a credit card now, starting your credit score journey, building up a good credit score will save you hundreds and thousands of pounds over time. So I would recommend getting a credit card now, spending £10, £20 on it a month, maybe buy lunch on it every now and then, but make sure you pay that credit card bill off in full, ideally by direct debit, so it's not left to chance. Okay, tip number 3, please. This is just a piece of paper that says 3. Anyway, tip number 3. You know all that money you set aside from tip number 1? This is where you put it. Open a stock and shares ISA. Cash ISAs are pointless. Your cash will lose money over time. You want to open a stock and shares ISA. There's loads of providers out there. I'd personally try Vanguard. That's who I have my index funds with. Vanguard is great. They give you access to low-cost index funds. Remember, this is your invest and forget it fund. You're not going to be touching that money for 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. depending on how old you are now. It will simply grow and grow and grow. Again, the power of compounding at work. Why index funds? Well, I prefer index funds to active funds. Unless you have access to a hedge fund manager or you are watching and have expertise to manage your investments daily, which I'm guessing you don't and you don't. And so just leave it to an index fund. The index will put your money in the market and follow the trajectory of the market at the lowest cost for you. Even if the stock market crashes, you're not withdrawing anytime soon. So this is your invest and forget it fund. This is money that you're not touching or not planning to touch for a long period of time. So the short-term ups and downs in the market don't really matter. Oh, and the stock and shares ISA, it's in the name, ISA, individual savings account. And in the UK, that is tax-free, just like a Roth IRA is in the US. And if you're watching from any other parts of the world, find out if you've got a similar savings vehicle that is exempt from tax and go right into that one. Tip number 4. Oh, hold on. Sorry, forgot to stand up. Right, tip number 4. This one is not about saving, not about setting some money aside, not about investing. This one is about spending your money wiser. If you're spending money, if you're buying online, which you guys probably do all the time, like everyone else in the world, then do it smartly. Go and find your product, find which store you're going to buy it from, find the best price for it, do all your research, do all the stuff you normally do. Then once you've decided which store you're buying from, head to a cashback site, something like Top Cashback or Quidco or something like that. I use Top Cashback massively. And once I've decided what I'm going to buy, I'll head to Top Cashback, do a quick search, see if the place I've decided to buy from is on there. If it is, I click through to the same website I was going to buy from, make my purchase, and because I've used the cashback site, that cashback site pays me back or rewards me with a percentage of the purchase I've just made. It could be 1%, it could be 10%. It depends on the store you're buying from. But this is an easy way of making your spending work for you. You've already decided where to buy from. You've already decided that this is the best deal you're going to get. Make that little bit extra by going to a cashback site. Oh, and a bonus tip for you. When that cashback money hits your account, stick it in that stock and shares ISA and help it grow even faster. Well done for sticking around this long. You're now at tip number 5. And this one is not about saving, it's not about investing, it's not even about spending better. This one is about making money. My 5th and final tip for this video is to get yourself into a side hustle, or at least learning about one. There are so many things you could do to earn money. The quicker you start learning how to make money, not just in a job or through investments, but different ways as well. The quicker you start learning, the quicker you'll figure out which ones float your boat and which ones don't. Which ones work for you and which ones don't. Which ones you're good at and which ones you're not. There are loads of sites out there like Upwork or like Fiverr. Browse them. Look at what clients are willing to pay for. Clients globally are willing to pay for people to write content for them on a blog. People out there are looking for them to post on social media for them, for their business perhaps, teaching them how to use TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, whatever it is. If that's an area that you're interested in, great. If not, I'm sure you'll find another. But getting started with figuring out what sort of side hustles are out there, which ones you're good at, which ones you can learn from, fail, learn from some more, and get good at, that's what tip number 5 is all about. How did you find those tips? If you've got any others, tell me what they are in the comments below. And if you really like this video, please do consider smashing that like button. It will really help me out with the YouTube algorithm and help me make more of these videos in the future. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next one.